Well, hello there everybody. You don't have to tell me why you found this video. You're a racing game enthusiast, you're bored, and you want something better. Well, have I got the game for you. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to iRacing. Well, I certainly hope that whetted your appetite for a bit more. If you're still here, it clearly did. So this video is going to focus on three key topics, the first one of which is cost. We all like a bargain these days. I'm pretty terrible for that myself. So you've probably heard lots of stories about how it's called iRenting and the costs associated with that. There's some truth to that, and we'll have a look at it. Secondly is going to be the graphics. Most people like a good game with really good graphics. We'll have a talk about that and see where iRacing stacks up in the modern world. And lastly, we're going to have a look at the gameplay, specifically things like tyre models and what it's like to race online with others. Because iRacing, if you don't go online, it's pretty pointless to do. With that in mind then, let's have a look at the first one, cost. How many tracks and cars are there in iRacing? Well, as of the 6th of January this year, which is the most up-to-date information I have, that would be 136 cars in iRacing and 126 tracks. There are two types of cars that you can purchase on iRacing, the first of which is what's called legacy content. These cars cost $2.95 each. There are 21 of them on the service, and they are cars that used to be on the main server but have now since been retired, mostly due to their age and or lack of popularity. Now we move on to the currently active cars. There are 115 of those, along with 19 cars that you get for free when you sign up to the service. Each of these cars costs $11.95. Now, moving on to the circuits, there are a grand total of 126 of those in iRacing. 118 of them are active and 8 of them are legacy. However, we need to deduct the fact that there are 27 free tracks from that number, meaning the maximum number of tracks you can purchase is in fact 99. Now, to make things slightly more complicated, oval tracks and road courses are priced differently. For oval circuits you are looking at $11.95 per circuit, and for road circuits you are looking at $14.95 per circuit, and there are 5 legacy tracks which you can pick up for $4.95 each. Now, that alone is quite expensive, but ladies and gents, fear not, for iRacing have your back. If you purchase 3 or more cars or tracks at the same time, you get 10% off. If you purchase 6 or more, you get 15% off. If you purchase 40 or more cars throughout all time on the service, you get 20% off all future content as well. Now, if you wanted to purchase every car and every track, excluding the legacy content, that would cost you a rather cool $2,035.77. If you wanted the legacy content as well, that would be $2,113.62. As you can all tell, it is very obviously much better to bulk buy on iRacing than it is to purchase content individually. Fortunately, there are lots of online tools and resources that can help you do exactly that. I will, of course, link all of those in the description below. So, yes, ladies and gents, iRacing is by far and away the most expensive way you can go sim racing. But is it worth it? So, moving swiftly on, we will be having a look at the graphics of iRacing, and we will be comparing it to a game that most of you will have heard of, called Le Mans Ultimate. Now, in order to do this properly, we are going to take the same corner in the same car and compare the two graphics. The corner we will be using will of course be Sunset in Sebring, simply because that's one of the most graphically difficult ones to render, and because it's damn beautiful. Let's have a look. On your screens right now are the two graphics settings that I've used across both simulators in order to do this experiment. I personally think that's about as fair as I can make it. However, I'm not a massive computer guy, and if there are any glaring errors there, please do point them out in the comments below. Now, I have to say, personally, I think Le Mans Ultimate may have slightly better graphics than iRacing. iRacing is certainly not bad, but it's worth noting that iRacing uses its own graphics engine, whereas Le Mans Ultimate uses ISI Motor 2.5. To be completely clear about this though, iRacing are going to be upgrading their graphics engine very, very soon. There's lots of information about that online. However, we don't yet have a firm date for when that's due to be released. So at the moment then, I've said to you that iRacing is the most expensive sim out there, and it's also graphically not the best sim out there. Well, with that in mind, is there anything that can save it? Well, let's move on to part 3 of this video. So what is it about iRacing that makes me say, yes, this is the best sim out there, and you should part with your hard-earned money to play it? Well, for me, it's the online gameplay and the community. There are over 125 official series, so there are nearly as many series as there are cars and tracks. They are split across 5 different licenses. They are sports cars, formula cars, ovals, dirt road and dirt oval. There are different license levels ranging all the way from rookie at the bottom to A at the top. You can get World Championship licenses, however those might be a little bit out of our reach just yet. It's worth noting that you can't just jump into a hypercar and go racing with everybody else. You will start at the bottom in all license classes, and you will have to work your way up by being a safe driver. So there are lots of different cars and series that you can run and drive, but you need the prerequisite license class to get there, and you do that by driving safely, consistently. License classes are based on how safely you drive, so generally there will always be someone in and around your safety rating that you should be able to have some good wheel-to-wheel action with. You also have an absolutely excellent matchmaking system called iRating. That means you'll essentially be set up to race against people who are of a similar skill level to you, which is always good because you don't want to get smoked by a guy who is just so much better than you. iRacing are forever striving to improve their tyre and their handling models. Just this season we've had the new GT3 tyre model, which according to several GT3 drivers in real life is a very accurate representation. That's another thing you always get with iRacing. They are constantly striving to give you a better game. One of the best things about iRacing is that you will generally have series hobbyists who create an absolutely excellent and welcoming community for everybody. One such series is the IMSA GT Championship, or the Camel GT Championship as it's also known. That doesn't go official very often, however they will have specific times of the week. You can join up and race, and it'll be a big race, lots of free setups that people are happy to share with you. That's the kind of community spirit I'm talking about on iRacing. On top of all of that, iRacing has a phenomenal 300,000 members. To put that into perspective, that is the same size as the capital city of Slovenia, Ljubljana. I know I butchered the pronunciation, sorry to any Slovenians watching. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There are some facts, figures, statistics, and of course a very healthy dose of my own personal opinion as to why I think iRacing is the best simulator on the market. You want to play iRacing, that's great, but I imagine some of you have a burning question in your minds. What kind of gear do I need in order to play this simulator? Well, I can't sit here and tell you what gear to purchase, but what I can do is point you to the direction of this video up here, which is my rig tour video that I did a few months ago, where you can have a look at all the gear and equipment I use when I go sim racing. Cheers.